I wanted to get some feedback from you guys because this is why we did it. I don't know if y'all want to share. I mean, not to take up. Oh, you ready? No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I didn't know what you said. I'm sorry. I can't put it. I bust microphone.
Yeah. The key to life, money, power, respect. Louis this, Gucci that, 2 private jets. Big money, big business, watch the paper stack. Treat life like a game, it ain't pool, but I'm racked.
I'm Kayla and I'm your host.
I'm Blake, your co-host.
And welcome everybody to Empower.
So Empower is a new show on the Teens Laugh Out Loud TV network. It's for teens and also by teens.
So if you missed out on this weekend, join us now in our weekend recap.
That's what's up. So we'd like to pick one to the audience. Tell us about what day you guys came and what was your favorite memory from that day.
I came here yesterday, and it was for karaoke, and it was fun singing yesterday and today.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
All right.
I came today and my favorite memory was singing with my friends.
Say that again.
Singing with my friends.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we would like to bring up to the stage 2 special people from the community who are authors and champions for empowering the youth.
Now y'all can give it up for AJ Nicole, Miss AJ Nicole.
Everybody give applause for this. All right. Welcome. We are glad to have you two on our show today. So can you each tell us a little about yourself and the role you play in the community?
Oh, that's a loaded question. My name is Ashley, AJ Nicole. I'm a coach. I used to play basketball here at Sexton. I went to Otto. It's closed now, but they don't have to say closed. So, but I went to Sexton, played at LCC 2 years, transferred from LCC, went to Indiana Tech and played basketball, came back home and became an assistant coach in college, and now currently I'm coaching at Everett, 7th and 8th grade boys, and I'm also coaching 7th and 8th grade girls. And I like to call myself a youth mentor or a youth activist, and basically what I do is try to create these type of entertainment events, and my goal is to put y'all in a place where y'all can do this all the time and give y'all something to do. So my main goal is just to empower the youth, give y'all something positive to do, something fun to do.
I am Lashunda. I am first mother, wife. That's important to me, first priority. I'm a mother of 5 daughters. I'm trying to get them all to become successful, strong women. They are heading to college now, so I'm excited. I'm also a mentor. I love to see our youth happy, so it made my heart just smile to see everyone have fun. I love to see youth have fun, so I'm glad you guys came out. I'm glad you had fun.
So, Miss AJ, I heard you were really gifted and talented. I just want to know how you use those talents for the youth.
Really, basketball is like my vehicle. I know y'all like to have fun. Music, obviously, is something I've done. I've been in marching band. I played the trumpet. I played at church. I did the audio at church. I really, obviously, love to talk. So I just learned to be constructive and talk in a place like just inspiring. I just want to empower you. So I kind of just use what I've learned from basketball, how to become a better player, just and what I've learned as a coach. And just kind of just use what I've learned to kind of use it to empower them. I was also adopted when I was young, so I was separated from my family early, and it kind of taught me to kind of care for them. Just a lot of kids don't, they may be in a different situation, they may have a step-parent, maybe no father, maybe no mother. I'm just kind of like that person that just kind of use my life, my experiences to kind of empower the next generation in case they don't have somebody. So that's what I've used my talents for.
Can you tell us about like things you went through your childhood and how that like inspires you to do what you do today?
And impacts you and how that empowers you.
Well, I mean, I think with some of my struggles, I'm an open book, so I've been molested, different abuse, and dealt with different things. So I always like to use my story to let people know that, and the youth to know that they can overcome whatever obstacle that's put in their way. I didn't go straight to college, so I advocate education all the way. If you're in high school, it's a free education. Take full advantage of that free education, because when you get to college, it's over $1,000 a credit. It's not even worth it, or a class. So take advantage. Your teachers are there to teach you something that's important. It sounds like they're just like the Charlie Brown commercial, blah, 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 but they're actually saying something that you're going to need eventually. So take advantage. I didn't take advantage of education. So now I'm a mother, a worker, a mentor, and I'm in school, in college myself. So I'm paying for all kinds of tuitions right now. And I didn't have to do it. It's a good thing, but it could have been avoided. So yes, take advantage of education and be okay with, if you're going through something and if you're going through a struggle, be okay with being in pain at that time, but communicate with the people that are around you to let them know that you're hurting. If something's bothering you, if somebody has bothered you, or if something's on your mind, let it out. You don't have to hold it in. You don't have to hold it in, so.
That's good.
Alright, you guys, so both AJ and Miss Lashunda both wrote books. So I'm going to show off your books real quick.
Okay.
And we all see the books, so I want you to share and demonstrate something in your book that might empower the youth today, if you can think of something.
Tell us the title of your book.
And the title is?
The title of the book is called The Workbook.
Yay!
Simply put, the work. Like, the whole message behind this was, basically I'll talk about faith. And that's one of the principles in this book. I don't know if y'all know what faith is. It's basically where you believe in something that you can't physically prove. You don't really have proof. And maybe you don't even have the money, the resources to do things. I'm trying not to see, I'll be getting so emotional. Reason. That's ridiculous. It's not, okay. Simmer down. Okay. I don't want y'all to think I'm just soft like that. But no, faith is something that just demonstrated. I went to Chicago. You know, I was separated from my siblings when I was younger, and I remember my younger brother. I had just connected with him. I had never met him before, and he was 17 when I met him for the first time. And he was going through some, you know, like just a troubled teen, just trying to find himself. And I just remember meeting up with him, and I was like going through what I was going through. I'm a single mom. And I was like, man, I gotta do something. I just gotta do something different. And we heard Eric Thomas on the Guru story. And he was talking about, if you want to be successful, meet me at the beach, you know. And I heard that story, and I'm like, man, I was just so inspired. And I was like, I didn't know what it was called. I was just like, I want to do something that he did for me. I was like, I want to do that. So when I heard that video, it was on YouTube. It was a dude working onto the video, so I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know who his voice was. I just saw the dude working out because I'm an athlete. We was just working out that summer. And I was like, okay, I want to meet Oprah. I don't know where that came from. I was like, I want to meet Oprah, and I'm like, I want to drive to Chicago. And I asked my brother, I was like, do you want to go? Because somebody had got killed, I think. You got to appreciate where you're from. Even though Lansing can be boring, there's people from Chicago right here in y'all schools that left that violence because it was taking a family, taking a friends, you know what I'm saying? So I think the biggest thing about this book is faith, because I'm trying not to cry. But this situation is faith because I just had an idea to do a talk show. Like Oprah is somebody I admire because she inspires people, and that's all I want to do. So faith is probably the most important principle in this book.
Tissue, please. My book is Empowerment, Steps to Your Destiny. And I wrote a book 10 years ago, but it never took off. And a few years ago, God told me to write a book. And he had put so much in me that I didn't know was in me until I started writing. So I believe anyone can write a book. Anyone can be an author. Just start writing. You can start journaling your issues, your problems, your life, what makes you happy, whatever. Just start journaling. And I started doing it. And it was a powerful journey. It was a hard journey. I'm sure you had that too, where it was many, many obstacles. And Ashley had to help me get through a lot of those obstacles as well as I had to help her get through hers. Because when you sit down to do something and you decide, I'm going to do something good, you better believe that there will be many obstacles that try to block you. There will be people saying you can't do it or whatever it is, and just discouragement. And you just have to tell yourself, I'm going to do it and I can do it. So stay focused and get it done. Whatever it is that you want to do, that's what you should do. One of my favorite chapters of this book is my first chapter, and it's on forgiveness. And God told me to put forgiveness first because you really can't go any further when you are letting things hold you back, when you're letting anger or disappointments. If something had happened in your childhood and you thought, I'm just going to move forward, I'm not going to think about it. You better believe that that thing will meet you sooner or later. Sometimes it's hard for us to let things go and forgive people. But you have to forgive people not only for them, but for yourself more than anything. It's important that you forgive because when you have hate in your heart and unforgiveness, it bothers you. It makes you sick. It makes you angry. It stunts you from going further. You can't become successful with all kinds of things in your heart. So that's one of my favorites.
Hey.
Deep.
My mouth was probably open. Okay, so final question for you both. Can you name one teen or one person? Can you guys you guys name one teen or one person or anybody whose words or actions impacted your work?
Unfortunately, he got killed, but his name was Joseph Conwell. He was actually a friend of my brother's. I remember him being on my mom's porch in Fort Wayne. I was hyping him up, like, yo, if you want to play basketball, I got you. I'm like, if you want to hoop? He was like, I really can play. I was like, you can play college. He was like, I'm like, I promise you, all I got to do is show you what you need to do, but you can play college. He was like, okay. He's the oldest of like 3 kids. He was just going through a hard time at the time, and I remember giving him a book. I think it was Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. He took it home and he read it like within a couple of days, and he was telling my brother like, yo, this is so sweet. I had left Fort Wayne. I left Fort Wayne to go back to Lansing because I was going through my own issues, I guess. And I guess when I planted the seed, I just assumed that I would see him again. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got you. You hit me up. I'm gonna come down here. I knew the coaches because I played at Indiana. I played at Indiana Tech, and I knew coaches and people around the city. So I was like, when I get back, I got you. We're gonna go up to the school. I'm gonna give you a tour. And I got the call probably like maybe a week after I said that, because a couple of days ago, my brother was like, yeah, he read the book. He was like, yo, when are you coming back? I'm like, man, I really don't know. I don't know when I'm coming back. And I got a call that next week, and he got shot in the alley by an older guy. He was like how old I am now, like 35, and he was only like 19. And it just hurt. I had to go to his funeral, and I'm like, man, that was the first time I met him, or the second time I met him. And it just hurt because I said something, and then he believed in it, and then I was never able to execute. So I think that story kind of inspired me to do more for you guys, because I'm like, man, I never know when I'm gonna be able to see. I'm about to cry again. But you never know. I never know when I'm gonna see y'all again. I don't ever want to be see them once and not tell them how I can be reached. Like, I made sure y'all have my Snapchat. I was like, make sure y'all connect, because I just want to make sure that even though I may only see you in person once, that you always remember that there's somebody that wants to empower you. Whether it can be a perfect stranger, and just to give you somebody to lean on when you're going through something, because you may need somebody. It may not be your mom, it may not be your dad. Maybe you don't want to talk to your coach. But I thank God for social media, because now I didn't have that with Joseph. I didn't tell him, hey, link up with me on Facebook, or I never said none of that. So now I'm like, I gotta make sure that I take the step now to live out his legacy, and make sure that I connect and lock eyes with y'all when I see y'all, so y'all can remember me forever. Because when you get older, I want you to be like, yo, I remember going to this talk show. She kind of pulled me out the hallway, wanted me to do karaoke, and we didn't really want to, but you did it though. And I hope that you always remember that. And the most important thing is that you do it for somebody else.
I love it. I would say, coming from a mother standpoint, and when we work together and we mentor together, Ashley is the favorite auntie, and I'm the mom. Like, here she goes. Yeah, but they know when I step on the ground, stop what you're doing and stop acting up. It's a fight. So I would say, my daughters, I can't just separate them, so that's all of them, because as a parent, you should be motivated to be your best. You should be motivated to sacrifice things. Sometimes you want to hang out and party or whatever, but sometimes you have to be mom. So I've sacrificed a lot, and I let them push me to greatness, because I know I have to be the leader that they see. And not only that, they allow me to have access into the school sometime. When I go up there to fuss at them, I'm fussing at everybody else that's in their pathway. They hate to see me coming like, what your mom doing up here? But they motivate me to, I wanted to go back to school, because I wanted my kids to see that although I have 5 children, I'm a working mom, although I'm very busy, you can go to school. There is no excuse not to go back. So I wanted them to see that. So they motivate me to do better. They motivate me to walk the straight and narrow, because you can't say, don't do this, and then they see me doing this. So I try to live the life that I'm speaking about. I'm not necessarily don't do what I do what I say, but I want you to see what I'm doing and do what I say. Do both of them. So I want to be the example, not only for them, but for all the youth and anyone that comes in my pathway. I not only mentor youth, I mentor adults too. So you do have to have a certain standard to speak to people and to try to influence and empower people. You can't empower people when you're raggedy and living your life all wild and crazy. So I do want to do my best, and not only do my girls motivate me, but any youth that I come in the presence of, I'm empowered and I feel good. So.
All right. Thank you both for sharing your time with us. How can others support your work, and how can others empower you guys?
Oh, you can support by going to YouTube and subscribing first. All you gotta do is search the work, and there are videos there of stuff that we've done already. I am on social media, but the most important thing right now is just I'm trying to build, not even build a following, I'm just trying to spread the message. I don't really care about the number of subscribers, but more about the message. So I can be reached on YouTube. I'm on social media at AJ Nicole. You can take a look at either one of these things. I just noticed that my Snapchat thing ain't right on this one, so minus the period. But yeah, I'm around the city. Like I said, I'm working with One Love Global, and I'm coaching at Everett right now. So you can walk up to me, y'all. Come find me, message me on social media. I do respond, so if you need anything, that's how I can be reached.
And you can find me on Facebook, Lashunda Thomas, or Snapchat, which I'm getting better.
She tried.
My kids take over sometimes. Steps to your destiny. Steps, the number 2, you are destiny, and Instagram too. So I look forward to seeing you guys. This was great.
Just before I say anything else, I just want to say that's really deep. Like everything you guys said, I'm thankful for you guys being so honest and real with us. Sometimes we don't get that from dogs anymore. But anyways, coming up next, we're gonna have some fun with the audience. But before we do that, we're gonna turn over to reporters and talk about our local team news and events.
Yes, team news.
Y'all ready to win some prizes? So there are 4 quick rules, all right? We are going to ask a series of 3 questions from earlier to the audience. We will then pick one of the audience members to answer. One of you will approve or give clarity to correct answer, and then the guest will give a prize to the winner. So 3 questions, 3 prizes. The first to answer wins. Well, answer's right.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask the first question. This question was in Miss Lashunda's book. What is the name of her favorite chapter?
Forgiveness.
Yep, you got it.
So do you guys remember the name of the team that inspired Miss AJ Nicole?
Joseph Conwell.
This is for Lashunda Thomas's book. What was one obstacle that she had as a child that helped her to write her book?
She got abused. Okay, I know.
What's she say?
She got abused. She was molested as a child.
Okay.
Good job! All right, thank you guys for playing, and let's take a quick break.
A mentor has helped me with basketball when I was little because I wasn't really understanding. I didn't know how to play basketball when I was little. So a mentor came and helped me, and he mentored me. And I was at MSU, so my mentor for MSU. He come and helped me about basketball, and he showed me, and
Now, we want to award our Mentor of the Month to someone who has mentored many youth, and that is Patrick.
My name is Patrick Sauer. I'm the Executive Director of Streets 517 Ministries. What we do is we want to build relationships with high school kids in the city of Lansing. And so for us, our primary passion point is really the high school students in Lansing. So that would be Sexton, Everett, Eastern, Waverly. And so for us, what we have done is we've taken a verse in the Bible and we've allowed that to kind of propel who we are. There's a story or there's a chunk of verses in the Bible that talks about seeking the peace and prosperity of the city.
I'm sure it was very empowering and helpful to other teens. I hope you stand in ministry and help us.
Now for this month's Young Talent Showcase, we'd like to introduce to our audience, Rebecca Donahue.
This is a song called Sanctuary, and it's just about, you ever feel like you don't belong, or like you just don't have a place, and you're looking for a home, but like maybe, I know especially for me in high school, all of my friends were just kind of school friends, you know, and it wasn't very deep, it was just very surface level, and I couldn't find people I could really relate to on like a soul level. So this song is just my prayer to God, just to help me, you know, not need to fit in, and not to feel that my light is diminished if someone doesn't recognize it. So, all right, here we go. I've been searching for a home. I've been stumbling in the dark, gasping for air, a place where I can breathe. I've been